What's going on, Charles Botenston? Just wanted to make a really quick video. I just made a video about iCharles.com. Obviously, I'm not going to be pushing it too much, but you guys should go over and register because we're looking to build that up. And that's essentially where I want to be a living, breathing organism. And I started bringing up what's funny? I'm just going to bring this up because it just popped in my mind, and that's how I do things, is it whatever. So, I'm 31, and I don't feel 31. I don't act 31, and it's not like I'm like this, whoa, what's going on? How you doing? Like, I'm not this, like, clown kind of guy, but I don't, like, my energy, my enthusiasm, it's way higher. Gary Vaynerchuk, he's 41, and he's like, I don't feel 41 at all. He goes, at 51, I want to accomplish even more things. At 61, even more things. And in the iCharles future video, like, what I want us to build iCharles into is a self-development community where you have everything. You have products and events and online courses and you could forums and profiles and everything else, and you could share ideas, get accountability partners and everything else. Like, nothing exists online like that, and it's crazy. But anyway, going back to what I was saying is that don't like put yourself into what society wants you to be. Like, if you're 21, you graduate college and then you're go into the workforce. Future think, like, what do I want to do when I'm 31? Where do I want to be? When iCharles.com, I also, it's not my business. I make zero money. I actually spend money to upkeep it in the servers and WordPress and customization and all that other jazz. But one of the biggest things is, like, even my company that I actually make money from, the real estate company, it's like, where do I want to take it? What, like, iCharles.com, like, what is the vision? And then you get so excited, and that's what pulls you. When someone's like, what pulls you into the future? It's like, have a vision. It's like, okay, like, what do you mean? I don't understand. This is what they mean, is that you have to have something that pulls you to the future, because if you're pushing your way through life, it's going to suck. And you're not going to be successful at whatever you want to be pulled towards. It could be making a team, being the best athlete. It could be being the best parent, or the best colleague, or the best boss, having the best body, or having a very healthy lifestyle. It's like, where do you want to be? And perfect example, like, I saw a guy at the gym. He was very overweight, but I like, where's his mindset? Is his mindset like, I'm looking to lose 50 pounds, I'm looking to lose a pound a day? Am I looking at, like, it's the same thing with you, is like, if you just reminisce about the present, you're going to stay in the present. You have to reminisce about the future, like, when I study for this test, here are the grades I want. Here's the company I want to build at iCharles.com. Here's BPI is my real estate company, Botenston Properties International. Where do I want to build it? Like, what is your future? And I read the book it was The E-Myth. Unbelievable book. Also recommend The Rockefeller Habits. If you have a business as well, you got to get into it. So both of them literally say, in 5 years time, like, what do you want to do? And I started thinking about it. I'm like, 5 years time, like, 5 years ago, where was I? But you need to have a future. If you don't have a future, number one is you're going to be miserable. You're not going to keep to your habits. You're not going to see why you should study or go to the gym or eat right. Like, I'll give you a perfect example, is that for myself, is that I want to have so much energy when I'm older. When I'm 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, like, I'm living to 125 minimum, 150. And by the way, the health at that time we're going to be like half robotics anyway. But for myself, is like, to get to that point, like, what do I need to do now? And you could be, I just got an email, a really kind email, thank you so much, from someone that was in the UK, and they said, I know you say that a lot of your viewers are younger. He's older than me. But it's one of those things, it doesn't matter if you're younger or old. I follow people that are like 19, 20 years old. As long as I get value, I don't care what age, what gender, where you are, what language, give me subtitles, what race, like, I don't care, religion, whatever. I don't care about, as long as there's something within that. It's like, I never judge where the information is coming from, as long as the information is suitable and I can take one little piece out of it. And it's the same thing with you. If you can take one little piece out of this video, all I can say is that whatever you're biggest passion is right now. So if you say, what's my passion is, or I don't know what my passion is, this is how you find your passion, is that you have to literally do as much as you can. So many people research, well, when I start this business, or when I go to this college, or when I start this sport, or when I date this person, or when I eat this food, or when I go to the gym, or whatever, and they do all this research. Fantastic. That was like me in the beginning. It's like, do all this research, but the thing is, you have to take action. I was a waiter at Olive Garden. I did door-to-door sales. I did telephone sales. I was in engineering. I did marketing. I owned a small eBay business. I was a caddy. I was at Oppenheimer Funds. I did so many jobs. I was a knife salesman at Cutco. Like every single job that you can think of, I've done. Web designer. Was I successful at any of them? Like in my mind, I was like, let's try it out. Like the good thing about the internet is that you could find out everything. But the problem with the internet is that you don't try anything because you're like, well, I don't know if I'm going to like it. That's the problem, is that you have to try. That's how you find your passion. And once you find your passion, then you say, okay, where do I want to be in a year? Where do I want to be in 6 months? What's the body I want to have? What's the energy I want to have? What's the mindset I want to have? What's the relationship I want to have? Tony Robbins, when you go to one of his events, that's all he talks about. He goes right down the future. What do you want to have? What's your body look like? What's your mindset? What's your money? What's your savings? What's the type of person that you're interested in? For me, I used to only be interested in looks. Ironically enough, as a guy, we're more visual. For women, they get stimulated more on the personality and drive and safety, security, things like that. For men, and obviously it's all evolutionary. Men, it's more about the offspring of our baby. So we look at how healthy the woman is. And obviously women out there, like, as much as you want to say it's my mindset, and guys, as much as you want to say, yeah, but I'm in shape, it doesn't matter. It's just how we think. Women want to know that they're going to be taken care of and that you're stable and you're normal. And girls, we look as much at looks. But it's because now obviously it's changing, because for me, I want someone that works. She could be hot as hell, but I don't really care. I want a woman that's, she's a cyclist, not any of the other psychos. I don't know where that came from, but a cyclist that she wants to better herself and she's healthy and everything else. And, she's feminine and things like that. I know there's this whole move and drive for women to be pushed to, act very aggressive and things like that. And I'm in New York City, where you have a lot of alpha females. It's not attractive. I know a lot of alpha females that are just completely single. I can't find a guy and everything else. I'm like, yeah, because you're very masculine. Just the same thing and I always ask the girls, I'm like, do you want a feminine guy? She's like, no, I want him to be strong and lead and da-da-da. I'm like, well, you're being the opposite of what we are looking for. We're looking for a woman that leads and everything else, but is free, and that's what the feminine energy is. It's free and open and giving and sharing. With masculinity, it's like you want to be decisive, and I think Tony Robbins would be better explaining it. Masculinity and everything else. But obviously, going back to future think, is that whatever your passion is, think of the future, because nothing will make you want to get up. I'm telling you right now, if you have no drive for a better body or a healthy lifestyle, or of living until you're 1,000 years old, nothing's going to make you go to the gym and eat the salad over the sugar, or not drink coffee or dairy or organic products or fresh fruits and vegetables. Nothing's going to make you want to do that. Perfect example is my mom. It's one of those things. You hear about it, and then you're like, nah, it's not going to really happen. And then I came home over the weekend, and my dad was saying that my mom tripped and she hurt her, she fell into something and hit her hip. And it's like one of those things that you hear about, oh, my parents tripped and fell or whatever. And it's like, you don't think about it in that way, but it's one of those things that if you don't start looking out and getting the habits now, you're going to be 70, 80, 90, and you're going to have no habits. You're going to be lazy, and you're going to sit on your couch and be like every other person. Brian Tracy, as much as you want to say anything, he's he's saying the same stories, or he's reiterating what he already knows and everything else. Brian Tracy, he's still working, and he's 70-something years old. Jack Canfield, he looks amazing. The guy, he looks without a blemish, 55 years old. Tony Robbins, he's 56, 57 years old. He looks incredible. It's because of that healthy lifestyle. Is that what you want? And if you want that, you have to future think. Future think, what do I want? What do I want my life to look like? What do I want my relationships or my company or my website or my business or my friends or anything? It doesn't matter. You have to have a vision. If you don't have a vision, you're going to perish. If you're not growing, you're dying. There's no medium. You don't just go like this. Imagine just stopping reading. Imagine just stopping working out. Imagine just stopping talking. It's like if you don't use it, you lose it. As many of these cliches as I can think of, they're all true. I know, because I went 2 months at the beginning of this year without going to the gym. I went back to the gym. I couldn't even lift like 40% of what I normally was able. It's known as atrophy. My mom taught me this. One of the best lessons I ever got. She's like, if you don't use your brain, it's going to atrophy. And at the time, I hated listening to people, and I was against authority, and I just wasn't a good kid and everything like that. So you know what it was? I didn't have a vision. I just thought about it. I'm like, what's the point? Why do I need to study? I don't understand. I'm just going to go to a college. I went to York College, and no one's heard of it. I played D2 rugby. That gave me goals and a discipline. Then I joined a fraternity. That gave me the social life of people that were making more than me, that were smarter than me, that were just better than me. And then rugby, it gave me, it was, honestly, I went to one of the best high schools that literally money can buy. It's known as Chaminade High School on Long Island. You could look it up. It's one of the best high schools in the country academically, and I sucked at it. And I didn't see a point to all the discipline and everything else. And then I went to college, one of the not ideal, it's no Ivy League school, and I learned so much because I saw I had a vision. So go out there, find what your vision is, find what you want to do, and that's the only way you're going to be pulled towards the future. So join iCharles.com. We're going to be building that up. Have an awesome day. Subscribe to the videos and leave your comments below.